But we're at the shop we're putting in here in Mara. You can see we've got some big footing drops here as we step down for a tall wall, retaining a bit on this side. The way the ground sloped, we've got about over 4 feet of slope from one side to the other, and then actually more than that, closer to like 6 to 8 feet of slope from opposite corners. So quite a bit of slope on this site. What we've got is the foundation we're putting in here, and the reason we did a full foundation on this one instead of the screw piles that we usually do is because of that slope, and we needed to use the foundation to retain some. Now we could have possibly done, you know, retaining walls and then built up a level pad and screw piled, but this made the most sense for this build, so we did a full foundation wall. Now before we started on the shop, they actually had a coverall building here, like one of those fabric buildings. What happened was a tree kind of fell on the back corner of it, ripped the fabric a bit, bent one of the hoops. So it wasn't quite in as good a condition as it had been, and he just wanted something nice. And the way we're putting it in here, it's gonna make it more accessible than the coverall building was. Trevor with Northern Constructors, he's doing all the excavation and earthworks here. And so he's kind of gonna grade this out real nice. He's adding a little bit more parking area, gonna grade it out nice so that they can actually pull down the driveway, swing around, back the boat in. Whereas in the past, they had to back down the narrow, slope, tight driveway and back into the coverall building. Just in general, he's gonna enjoy using the place a lot more once this shop's done. Right here, you can see we've got the 15M rebar where it overlaps. So one thing you want to make sure is that you've always got about 2 feet of overlap when you're tying the rebar together, and then tie it together. So that's a actual code thing to have that overlap. You can't just butt it together because then you'd have no strength there. So you want to have that overlap, and then when the concrete gets around the rebar, it locks it together and it's like one piece. If you didn't have it overlapped enough, just a little bit, that would be a weak spot in your footing and you would see some problems down the road there. So once the guys get this footing poured, then they're gonna strip it the next day. Once it's set up, once the concrete gets hard, then they'll be stand and form panels. So there's a bunch of different sizes of panels on this build, because not only do we have drops in the footings that's going to affect the panel size, but we also have a drop in the wall. Right here, you can see they've kind of marked it on here. So this little building on this side, the floor of it is actually 18 inches higher than this part of the building, just because we wanted to minimize bringing this grade down too low. We wanted to keep a nice slope on this grade to keep water running past the front of the shop. So that's why we have that 18-inch step between the floors. So a really unique build because of that. We don't do that too often. One of the challenges we faced actually with this build was we had to get a development permit. So the reason we had to get a development permit was because there's one corner of the property over here that's beyond, I forget what the exact number is, but there's a certain steepness to the slope that once it exceeds that, they automatically have to get a development permit because they want to make sure everything's not going to slide off of here. But anyway, that delayed the whole project by over 10 weeks. We were initially going to start, we were planning to start in like March, have this ready for him to use in the summer. And because of that, it got kicked to a development permit. We weren't able to do that. So now we're back here in September, getting this going. That's actually the first time we've run into a development permit issue. You're usually not going to run into it on most places unless you've got some really steep slope. And that depends too on the district. Different districts, different rules. Well, we got this foundation poured here and it's pretty much ready for backfill. They're just gonna pick up the forms this morning. Got those from Elmco and Salmon Arm. So it turned out really good. Did it with the strip ease forms, which just all the BCs on that old system. We don't do a ton of foundations, but if you're doing a ton of foundations, obviously a Duraform or Advanced Tech or something would make more sense. So we've got, this is like our slab's gonna be at the top of that wall height over there for this part of the building. And then our slab's gonna be at the top of this wall height for this side of the building. And then once this is backfilled, we'll have them dig a little bit here. We'll just put a little retaining wall out here that's gonna slope down to nothing. That's gonna keep that grade up there at that height, this grade at this height, because this whole site is sloped, and so we want the water to keep going that way like it always has, and we don't want to cause any problems. We definitely don't want water coming in the building, so that's why we've put these at two different heights. It's to make it a lot easier to get this width of a building without completely revamping this site. You can see on this side, we had to do a pretty tall wall. It's an 8-foot wall on this side. It's actually gonna have only 4 feet of it that's actually going to be above ground once the grade's finished on the outside, but we had to get that 4 feet of frost protection, so it made it an 8-foot wall. And that's, again, just because of the slope of the site. You can see all this rebar sticking out of here. All that rebar is going to tie into the slab, and that's going to help with holding that tall wall because there's going to be a bit of pressure on it. Really, it's only a 4-foot wall once that backfill's done, so there's not going to be a lot of pressure, but that rebar is going to help keep it from getting pushed that way. Trevor with Northern Constructors, him and his guys have just started the backfill. You can see it's looking really good. This is just a day's worth of the backfill. They're going to finish it up today, going to get all this grading really nice. It's looking really nice and cleaned up. So excellent work, super happy with it, and we're excited because we're going to start framing on this right away. Over here, we've got these true column dry set post brackets we're using on this shop. They are awesome. You can see they're bolted down with dry set bolts into the concrete. This side probably still needs to be adjusted at the bottom because they just craned this recently. And then we'll fill these holes with the GRK structural screws. Nice solid foundation compared to you know, anything else you can do really. They've got the main section over here, and then the grade steps up to this side. This side is going to be for storing his tractors in, and we're building it like a lean-to. So we're going to stuff that roof. This is all going to be insulated, so that roof will have bad insulation in it. That roof will have blow-in insulation. It's going to have a mezzanine in the back of there that we're building in there as well with some stairs up to it, so that's going to be super nice. Overall, going to be a super useful building, and it looks huge actually because it's a tight site. It's not a very big building, but such a tight site here that now that it's up, it's actually looking pretty big and tall. So it's pretty cool. I think he'll be impressed when he comes to check it out. So we've got this shop here basically finished up, and it's gonna be great. What they had before was a coverall building here, a lot smaller and just a lot less usable, and the way the water used to come down, it used to run into the building all the time. And with this shop, that'll be eliminated once the earthwork's finished up here. The water's gonna route around the building. Yeah, overall, just a really nice way to do it with that separate bay so that you can just, if you have something you need to store in a smaller bay, you can put it in that side and you don't have to be going in and out of that. It's totally insulated separately from the rest of the main building. Hey, if you're considering building your own shop or your own barn or your own garage, let us know. You can hit the link below. The best place to start is our design packages or our pricing guide. You can download the pricing guide, and with the design packages, we can custom design the building for you exactly how you want it. So hit us up in the link below. Let's get started on building your dream shop today. Check that out. This is a steel commercial man door, insulated. You can see the insulation in there from where they cut this hole for this deadbolt. So this is a heavy duty door. Like, the chance of someone getting in here is pretty much impossible. Like, they would have to smash the bottom corner in with a sledgehammer or something repeatedly until it bent up enough to crawl in. And that's the only way they could get in. These things are very solid doors and a great way to go. We put them in pretty much every shop we build. So you can see in this shop that we've done a mezzanine here. So it's a great way to add some extra storage without increasing the square footage, because of course when you increase the square footage of your shop, it gets a lot more expensive. But if you add a mezzanine, you can keep the square footage the same, just throw a floor in there, some stairs, and now you've got a storage area where usually you just have this air space in the ceiling. So if you don't need the full height the whole way, see the front is gonna have the boat in here, it's gonna have the tower and everything, so it's gotta fit. But the back here, the back of the boat can tuck under this mezzanine and then get this extra storage up above it. So they're a great way to do it. So this is just gonna be a little storage area. It's gonna be able to put a tractor in here, store some stuff, really cool. Listen how quiet these LiftMaster openers are now. Like there's almost no sound. That's so cool to me every time, because I'm used to the like old clanging and banging that the garage doors of the past used to make. And then over here, this will take us into the other side. Watch, this is a bit of a step down here because we're dropping down into the other building. It's got the nice openers on the doors, so those are shutting really nice. We've got the bigger garage door in here, a shop door really. This is the 26 by 36 side. So really nice. Again, you can see this opener mount still has to be mounted, but listen to how quiet even these big doors are as it goes up. Just about no sound to that. Amazing. Just gonna stop it and have it come back down. And watch this when they come down. And then as it nears the bottom, you'll see it like just set down really nice. Watch this. Wow. And shout out to Vision Garage Door. They supplied and installed these doors on this building. Vision Garage Door. We've dealt with them for years. Absolutely phenomenal team there. We love working with them. They stand behind their work. They do great work. Like their thing says, the height of exceptional service. Check out Vision Garage Door. They're in Enderby, but they service all over, down to Kelowna, all over, you know, Salmon Arm, the Shuswap, Vernon. They service the whole area. And if you need garage doors serviced or new doors, Vision Garage Door, that's who you want to talk to. Now come on with me in the rest of this shop tour here. So you'll see we've got a mezzanine in here. We've got some stairs, just real rugged, you know, utility railings on them, nothing crazy fancy or anything, but good solid stairs. So this is just, again, a little storage area, you know, be able to set up some tools and stuff here. You can see we got lots of plugins. So be able to have workbenches, whatever we need, battery chargers, anything going on up here. So that gives you a rundown on that area. On the outside, we've got the textured metal. If there was a bit of sun, you could see a sparkle to it, but it's actually got a texture to this metal. You can hear it doesn't sound like as much like tin compared to this. Here's the smooth finish of the trim, and this is a textured finish on the metal. So that's a really cool feature on this building, is it's got that textured metal all the way around. Just adds another little level of class to it. Yeah, so we got to clean this floor up. It's still got a lot of mud on it. This was a really muddy site when we were working on it. So we're just going to grab some water, get this soaked up. The guys are on their way with brooms and everything to clean it up. We don't want to use a pressure washer because it'll spray all over the place. So we're just going to get some water. The water's off. It's winter and this is just a summer home. That ain't going to be enough to clean it. So what are we going to do? We got the lake right there. We could go down to the lake and get some water, because we got to get this done. The customer's coming back next week, and this floor is absolutely unacceptable. Obviously, we can't hand the shop over to them like this. So there is the lake just down across the highway here. We'll take some buckets, go get some water, start getting this soaked down. When the guys show up, they can start to broom this filth out of here and get this cleaned up. Hey, so I just tried to get water and the water's off. And so we're gonna have to go down to the lake and get some water. How do we get down to the lake from here?
Basically just go to where those outdoor bathrooms are, and you just walk right down to the beach.
Oh, like that beach is just over this way?
Yeah, no, down the
or that way. Okay.
And then just those
Yeah, I know where you mean then. We'll probably just want to haul a few buckets up to it, because I don't think we're gonna be packing that thing full of water.
We're shredded, but I don't know what that's shredded.
I guess we could probably do it half full or something, save a trip. See how that's weighing. Well, that's pretty light still. I mean, if we each grab a side, we can probably pretty much have it full. And then we can just fill each of these buckets up, and then we'll only have one that's not quite full. We going up and over all of this crap, hey Josh? Oh yeah. Getting your leg workout in today.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Perfect. Now we'll just drive really slow. We'll be good, eh? Oh yeah, solid. We'll go. Yeah, we're losing most of our water here. We'll go down to right down to the shop. And then we can just unload right into it, eh? Oh. The one bucket tipped. Yeah, we still got lots of water. Good thing we had the tub because these buckets didn't hold too much. I was just spreading some of it around to let it soak for you. That's why I dumped it earlier. Oh yeah. And then you'll have the tub of it to, you'll be able to get more as you need. It should do you until he gets here at least. Because then what you'll probably end up having to do is a couple more trips to get some water to flush it out, you know?
Yeah.
Flush the mud out. Yeah, check this out. Here it is, flowing in. Look at that, eh? Beautiful, and then it's going out the sump, collecting the water in the bottom, or the dirt in the bottom, I mean, and letting the water flow out. That's working really well, eh? Look at that. Get all that mud off. Shout out to JC Formwork for doing this floor. Very nice floor. As you can see, we just dumped water on it. It's flowing into the drain. That's exactly what we want. So JC Formworks, excellent job on the floor. If you guys need any concrete work done at all, I would definitely talk to them. They're based in Vernon. Top-notch dudes. Did a really good job here. This comes with the U-drain, so you're like, well, these things look pretty inconvenient if something's stuck in here, right? They'll plug up. Not with this nice paddle. This is how you get any dirt or whatever out of there too. You just scrape it along. There's these little cross pieces. Someone told me one time to smash them out of there. We've tried and they do not like to come out. So we just leave them in. They're not that much of a pain. There we go. All that dirt's in the sump now and it can be scooped out of the sump with a shovel or bucket or whatever. You can do this side too. Just like that. Perfect.
It is working, but it takes a lot more effort than I thought it would.